Oh, good morning, everyone. So today we're going to do another round of some nice deep stretching, and then we'll get moving. We're going to start laying down and have your strap where you can get to it so that it's kind of at your side. Some of you know from last class, I've been working with a little tweaky back, and I continue to practice what I preach, which is to take care of things and to take the time to just explore, um, what your body's trying to tell you, I guess, or what my body's trying to tell me. And the other thing I found interesting over the course of this week, I listened to a podcast, and he said that when you're dealing with pain, and of course this is relative, right? This is minor. Um, Instead of bracing and grimacing and tightening the jaw, he said, as you move your body, try to smile, like exhale, smile, breathe, so that we can allow the body or tell the body that it is safe. And that was such a key word for me, that word safe. Um, so I've been playing with that quite a bit all through the week in my own body. So with that, go ahead and lay down. And your legs can be bent, feet on the floor, or your legs can be straight. You've got a strap nearby just for when we're ready for it. And feel your body on the mat, and maybe place one hand at the lower belly and one hand up near the heart, anywhere near that. It doesn't have to be front and center. Let the elbows be heavy to the floor so you're not holding anything in space. And start here with the breath. And maybe notice the state of your back, right? Or your body. How does it feel if your legs are straight? How does it feel if your knees are bent? Where do you notice the weight of your body resting? Is it head, shoulders, hips, feet, legs? And as you take a deep breath in, allow the exhale to soften whatever it is that might be talking to you today. As you inhale and exhale, let the tension melt. Feel your body get heavier to the floor. What's interesting about the placement of the hands, one at the low belly, one at the heart, is that these are both areas where we can tighten or protect, right? Or close down. So as we breathe in, we open up those spaces. As we exhale, we let go of any old stuff, and we feel safe in our bodies. We feel safe in the creative center of the second chakra, the lower hand. As we breathe in and we exhale out, we feel safe in the heart center. And we let the shoulders soften closer to the floor. We let the jaw go. Good. 2 more breaths right here. And then release the hands, take the arms to cactus. Again, try to relax. If cactus arms don't feel good in your body, go ahead and change them any way that makes sense for you. Take a deep breath in, exhale it out. And as you inhale, arch through the back a little bit, a little pelvic tilt. And as you exhale, curl it all in. Good. Inhale, tilting slightly. Exhale, curling in. Good. Few more right here. And exhale. And I probably should have said, if your legs are straight, go ahead and bend the knees and put your feet on the floor for these tilts and tucks. Good. Just one more right here. Inhale. Exhale, tuck it all in. And then come to a neutral spine. Release the arms. Grab your strap. Take the strap around your right foot. Take the foot up to the ceiling. Your left foot is on the floor to start. So draw the shoulders down, take a look at your foot, let the foot be level as if it were standing on the ceiling, right? So sometimes we'll curl in, curl out. See if you can level that out a little bit. Press through the heel of the foot. So the heel is reaching up toward the ceiling. If this feels fine, your hamstrings feel open enough, go ahead and straighten the left leg. If that is too much, maybe you come halfway between. Maybe you've got a small bend in the left knee, or, find the one that works for you, because hamstrings are different for everybody. Some are nice and open, some are tight, some are short, some are long. You get the idea. So feel that, and then draw the shoulders down to the floor as if you could lift your chest off the floor, right? So we're drawing the shoulders back. The space behind the heart lifts just a little bit. Tone through the belly and just stretch. Whoo, yeah. Maybe point the foot and stretch that way, and then flex again and point. Exhale as you flex. Good. One more point. Exhale, flex that foot, and then take the strap in your right hand. Bend your left knee, let that foot come back to the floor. Take the right leg out to the right side and let the left knee drift to the left. So once again, we kind of notice, where do we go with this, right? For some, it's a little too much. And that right foot's going to kind of drift down toward the end of your mat. See if you can keep that leg out to the hip, out level with the hip. If you can't, I would go shorter, right? As we stretch that inner thigh. The left leg is just drifting off to the left a little bit as a counterbalance. Feel your hips, feel your pelvis. Does it feel pretty even to you? Like, are you hiking one hip or the other hip? Try to soften everything else. Don't over grip your strap, right? Keep the fingers soft. Take a really deep breath. Exhale, let it out. And then inhale, squeeze the thighs towards each other, crisscross the thighs. Switch the strap to your left hand. The right arm goes out to the side, stretching the outer leg, outer hip, using your breath. Notice if you are tightening your jaw, right, or your shoulders or your chest. Can you stay in the sensation of the right outer hip, outer leg, maybe down into the shin? It's all good. It's all okay. Try to keep the pelvis on the floor, right? So that might seem obvious, but keep both sides of the hips down. Big deep breath. And then bend the right knee. You can release the strap so that you are crossing your knees, right? So you got one knee on top of the other. Squeeze in through the core. Draw your knees up toward your chest. And just stretch out that right hip. Maybe you rock a little side to side. Some good stretches this morning. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. And if you are working with a particular pain in your body or an injury or just a naggy kind of thing going on, maybe you let yourself know that you are safe, right? You are safe in your body. You will take care of it and listen. Good. You're going to come back to center with those knees. Draw both knees to chest as you uncross them. And then place both feet back on the floor. I'm going to flip over so I have room for my leg. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. The strap goes around your left foot. Left leg goes up to the ceiling. Your right foot is on the floor to start. Pause here, right? Draw the heel up as the toes come toward your chin. The shoulders soften down to the floor. Try not to overgrip and just see how it feels on this side. Often one side is tighter, looser than the other. So you might notice that little bit of difference. 1, you're here. 2, you're going to straighten the right leg. Whew. And breathe. And notice, right, what changed, what shifted. Are the hips level? Can you breathe here? Maybe you point the toes and then flex and point and flex. Good. One more big point and flex, stretching out the back of that leg. And then take the strap in your left hand, bend your right knee, foot to the floor. The left leg goes out to the left as the right knee drifts over toward the right. Notice the pelvis, right? When I first do this, like I leaned over to the left hip. So I'm going to set the right hip back down on the floor and just breathe. If you need a little bit of a bend in the left knee, go ahead and do that. Just notice where you're at. Where is it? Where are you feeling this? So when we deal with pelvic issues, hip issues, low back issues, all of that stuff, we go, all right, so what is our daily habit? What do we do day after day after day? Where are the imbalances in our bodies? Can I just pause long enough to pay attention? What's tight? What's not tight? What's strong? What's weak? Kind of thing. Good. One more big exhale. Engage the low belly. Squeeze the thighs together. Crisscross the thighs. Take the strap in your right hand instead. Pause here. The right knee. I don't think I said this on the other side, but the right knee now goes over toward the left as if you were going to cross thighs. Yeah. Woo. And breathe. Anybody else feeling that? Outer hip, right? Breathe. Try to keep the hips level. Big deep breath, everybody. And then bend the left knee. Release your strap. The knees are crossed. Draw the knees toward your chest. Inhale. Exhale. Just feel all that stress starting to go away. Good. One more big inhale. Exhale. Maybe you rock a little side to side. And then come back to center. Undo the knees. Draw both knees toward your chest. A little stretch at the low back. And both feet come back to the floor. So knees are bent, your feet are hips width apart. Tone the lower belly, right? Just a little bit, right? That way low belly. And then push into your feet and lift your hips a couple of inches off the floor. So again, a bridge-ish pose, but not really high. And then from this position, I want you to squeeze your glutes. Unsqueeze. Good. Keep them up if you can. Squeeze. Let go. Squeeze. We got 3 left. Release. 2 more. Squeeze. Release. Last one. Squeeze. Hold here. And release, hips all the way down to the floor. Draw your right knee to your chest, straighten your left leg. Oh yeah, nice stretch here. Lift your left leg a couple of inches off the floor, using a little bit of core. Breathe. Bring the left knee to your chest, straighten the right leg. It can start on the floor. Notice side differences, and then lift the right leg a couple of inches off the floor. Breathe. Bring your knees to your chest, squeeze them in. Let the feet come back to the floor, knees are bent. Lift the hips a couple of inches. Your hands can either be down, holding on to the sides of your mat, or the arms can be, the upper arms press into the floor. Again, don't go into a full bridge or just lift it a few inches. But the backs of your upper arms can be pressing into the floor, fingers toward the ceiling. Now, as you squeeze a little bit, lift one leg. And then set the leg down, lift the other leg. Good. And just slowly march in place. So with the hips kind of low back going out for me, I could not do this. It was a reminder for me that I used to do these all the time. So as my back is healing, I'm working on re-strengthening a few of the muscles that I've been, I guess, ignoring. This is a great exercise. Don't go super high. You don't even have to go super high with the foot. You can just lift a couple of inches. Good. Let's see if we can do 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7. Press into the foot. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to hold, squeeze the hips, squeeze the glutes, and lower down. Well done, everybody. Draw your knees to your chest. Rock it a little bit side to side. And then let the knees roll over to one side and come on up to a seat. Yay. So as we sit, again, sit up on a blanket, sit up on a block. You know what you need to do to protect and serve your body, right? Protect can kind of get us fearful. So to serve that body that feels good, inhale, reach up. Exhale, one hand down, the other one reaches over, and I want you to pause again. Press down through that same side hip. Soften the hand, shoulder that is on the floor. Watch what you're doing with your head, your neck, and then just feel that side body stretch a little bit, as if you could go over a little bit deeper, pressing out through the ribs, and then draw them back in again and squeeze that same side body. Good. A couple more. Open, squeeze. You can feel that, right? And then open and squeeze. And when you squeeze, see if you can take the other hand off the floor. What are we squeezing? We're squeezing those side oblique muscles, right? And stretch one more and take it up. Exhale, other side. Start soft, right? Where is your body in space? Is your chest rounding forward? Is the shoulder rounding forward? Can I soften that standing arms, shoulder? And then again, just stretch those ribs out a little bit and then squeeze them in. Yep, stretch it out. And squeeze, side body muscles, stretch. And squeeze. Good. 2 more. Stretch it. And squeeze. It's pretty subtle. Good. This time I want you to squeeze. See if you can take the hand off the floor, right? Because this is supporting you. This is working. Take the hand back down, stretch, press up, squeeze the beach ball between those arms, and exhale, let go. And then roll it out, roll it, roll it, roll it. Straighten both legs. Dandasana pose. Again, right? Maybe sitting up on a blanket could be easier for some, not so much easier, but it helps the pelvis tilt forward, which helps you sit upright. Roll the shoulders back and let the hands come to the floor. So how can you be powerful in the pose and yet not like, all kind of tense up and, all of the stress that doesn't need to be in the pose? How can you find the strength and then lift up out of that? Take the arms up, hold the beach ball. I'm gonna have to put a beach ball picture up there instead of Buddha, right? So that when I say that, people go, "Oh yeah, she's holding the beach ball." Breathe, squeeze, exhale, just let go. Roll the shoulders, and then take one leg into Janu Sirsasana. Grab your strap again. We're almost done with the floor work. Wrap the strap around your foot. Whichever side you're on is fine with me. Remember, right, always with these types of poses, if your knee is high, support it so that the groin can relax. When the groin relaxes, the hamstring opens up a little bit more. So what's interesting, right, if we're looking at stretching the hamstring here, we want to engage the quadricep, the opposing muscle. So let's sit and see if we can fire up the muscle of the top of your leg. See if that works. If that's engaged, the hamstring goes, oh, okay, I can relax now. Breathe, pull back on the strap, open up your shoulders. Feel the lower belly tone a little, and then take the torso forward a little. Now, again, because I'm still working with a little funky back, I'm not going very far. I'm going to pay attention to how this feels in my body, as you should be as well. But see where it is for you. As I draw the torso forward, can you draw the hip back a little bit? Same side hip, back a little bit. And feel the work. You can either hold the strap or you can take the fingertips to the floor, broaden through the shoulders, and breathe. Good. One more nice deep breath here. Take the torso up, listen up, a little bit different than we normally do. That whichever leg you have extended, I want you to push that leg out. Like so the hips skew a little bit. Yep. And then twist to the opposite side. Yep. Breathe. So it's like you just set that leg forward maybe 3-4 inches. So the hips are now at a diagonal. Usually they're straight. As we breathe, release your twist, come forward, squeeze that leg back. Yep. Take the other leg up, straighten it out. You're back to Dandasana, quads are active. And breathe. And maybe crunch up your toes and stretch them out, right? Good, let's go right to the other side. So bend your other leg. You can take the strap around your foot, level out the foot. Again, we tend to, especially if you sickle in with the foot, right? If you're doing that kind of motion, I think that's a pronation. You really shorten the muscles on the inside of the ankle, and that could throw all kinds of things off. So let's straighten the foot, pull the shoulders back, engage the quadricep muscle. How do we do that? Breathe. Feel that. Put something under the knee if it's not resting comfortably, and then start to walk the torso back forward a little bit. Keep drawing that hip in and back as you take the torso forward. Check it out on this side. Either you're holding the strap or you let go of the strap and let the fingers kind of do the walking. But see if you can keep the quad working a little bit. It's tricky, right? Big deep breath. So even in this pose, again, low back stuff, right? Do you move into your low back pose going, oh, or do you go, okay, I am safe here. I feel good here. I can actually smile here. My body's going, yeah, this is okay. I'm doing this. This is all right. Breathe, soften the jaw. Use your breath. The breath is such a big indicator. And then take the torso up. Remember what we did last time. You're going to scoot that long legs hip forward and then twist the other way. And breathe. Do I see any smiling going on in this room? Breathe. And take it center, slide the leg back. Yep. And then lift the other knee, straighten both legs, shake them out, everybody. So the other interesting thing, this was a while ago. I don't remember what was happening in my body, but so place your hands on your thighs and don't flex anything. Just let it be soft, right? And feel your thigh muscles, feel your quadriceps. They're, they might feel toned, but they're certainly not engaged. And then with your hands on your thighs, I want you to flex the feet, try to lift the heels off the floor if you can, and feel the muscles engage. You feel that? Right? So they're working. They're working. Now release the feet, release the heels, and try to engage the thighs. I found this the first time I did this really hard to do. Like, how do you engage the thighs if I'm not doing all this other stuff? So just see if you can find it and relax. See if you can find it. Relax. One more time. So what's happening for me is my butt muscles are going, right? In order. So how is all that connected? And release. Good. Shake it out. Bend your knees, everybody. Just wrap your arms around. Give yourself a little rounded stretch. Again, big deep breath. And release. Let's come on to table pose. Have the blocks up at the front of your mat. You can set your strap aside. If you want to use a blanket to place under your knees, go ahead and do that. So from table pose, just feel that again. The knees or hips width apart. And a few cats and cows here, but I really want you to go slow. I want you to round into that nice cat pose, and maybe you pause at the top and then slowly move through cow and see how that feels, and maybe pause at the peak of that. And then feel the low belly engage, exhaling as you curl in. Inhale as you open. Good. Take it 2 more. So feel yourself breathe, like hear yourself breathe, because I really want the tension to be released out of your body. Good. Last one. Come back to neutral. Press the right leg back. Lift the right leg. Hold here. Big tone to the belly. And imagine, right, thinking about what we did when we were doing the low bridge and lifting one knee and then the other. Here we have the whole leg lifted. How does that feel in your body? Find your breath. I want you to kickstand your left leg out. Adjust your right hand. Adjust your left hand and then come on up. Side body work. Breathe. Now, if this is way too much, the foot comes back down to the floor. It's okay. Keep the toes pointing forward. Take the top arm up. Big squeeze of the lower belly. As you release, keep the leg, take the hand back, kickstand everything back to center, and then extend out through the left arm, balancing table. And breathe. Core work. You got this, everyone. Lower the hand, listen up. Take your right toes to the floor. Come to plank pose. Engage the glutes, engage the legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the knees. And maybe a little child's pose. Maybe hero pose. Maybe you're on your belly taking a little nap. It's all good. And again, notice the breath. Notice the jaw. Another thing I've really been focusing on all week is noticing anytime I tighten up my jaw. That's a very interesting self-study. All right, let's come on up. Other side. See all these things you get to know about me. All right, press back through the left leg. Engage the glute, engage the belly, take the leg up. And pause here and just feel what's engaging, what isn't. How do you feel in this pose? Can you keep the hips level? Notice how everything is feeling. And when you're ready, kickstand out through the right leg. I have to adjust my right hand in a little because I go wide in my shoulders. And then turn to the side, flex the leg, the toes. Maybe the arm comes up. Where is the breath? Are you tensing through your jaw in concentration? Nice, release that. Hand comes back to the floor. Kickstand that knee back in, that foot back in. Adjust the hands appropriately. And then reach out through the right arm. That's it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hand down. Lower the toes. Plank pose. Remember, you can always do plank on the knees. Breathe. Draw the inner ankles toward each other. That's it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees. Child's pose or anything else that makes sense. In child's pose, we allow the back muscles to stretch. We soften through the belly, the jaw. One more. Release, everybody. Table pose. From table pose, right leg forward. Once your right leg is forward, grab your blocks. Now I have my blocks up at the highest level. I'm going to shorten my pose. We've done this before, 90-90 legs. So come up on the back knee if you can. I know for some that's not pleasant. Stretch through the left thigh. Engage the left glute. Your hand is to your knee. I'm actually pushing my knee away from each other. Take the left arm up. Find your breath. So this is for many a much deeper quad stretch than it would be if you were doing a regular lunge. So just feel that. Use your breath. Open up chest, shoulders, tone the lower belly. And as you exhale, take those hands back to your blocks. Lower the blocks by one level to make them more stable. Flip your toes under, lift your knee. I want you to stay low here. So we're taking that knee up, we're firing up the legs, using our breath. Breathe. From here, options. I'm going to take my knee back down, just being a little abundantly cautious. You can keep the knee up, take your hands to your knee. So coming into either a low lunge or high lunge. Reach the arms up if when you're ready. You're really long, Betty, so just be mindful. Breathe. And take the hands down. Release, switch sides, easy, easy, right? Just take the right leg back, take the left foot forward, do the hokey pokey. You can take the blocks up nice and high. Come more into a 90-degree angle than you are like a forward leaning lunge. Tuck in through the belly. Start here. Left hand sits on left knee, right arm goes up. Jumping ahead, Miss Betty. Breathe. It's okay. You can stay. It's all right. Find your breath. Stretch through that quad. Just notice. And release. Hands come back to your blocks. Lower the blocks by one. Flip your toes under. Lift the knee. Fire up the leg, the glute. How does that feel in your body? So 1, you're here. 2, lower the knee. Come into high lunge or low lunge. You decide for you what feels good in your body today. Breathe. Stretch and open it up. Nice, everybody. Exhale, release wherever you are. Slide the left knee back to meet the right. Set your blocks aside, but where you can reach them, you're back to table pose. From table pose, you are back to plank. And breathe. You got this. Hold on to the imaginary beach ball, right? Don't let the elbows splay out to the sides. Squeeze through the glutes, the hips, the legs, and then come to downward facing dog. From down dog, take the feet wider than your normal and sway the hips side to side. And breathe. So we're stretching out the side body a little bit. Bend the knees a bunch. Tone in through the lower belly. Press the hands away from the shoulders. Breathe. And as you start to straighten the legs, walk the hands back toward your feet. Big bend in the knees, everybody. The feet are wide. Hands come to your knees. Lift from your head, your chest. Find your balance. Find your equilibrium. Whew. You got it. Shake it all out. You're going to want your blocks, so take the blocks to the front of your mat and take them up at the highest level. And breathe. So again, maybe you just start in mountain pose, right? Find mountain pose. Mountain pose, don't lock the knees back. Keep a softness there. Open up the shoulders. Maybe take the hands back and interlace and just open the chest and soften through the head and the neck. Right? Where is it for you? Maybe you roll the shoulders forward and then press them back and roll them forward. Press them back. Right? Where's your body today? Release. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands come to your block. So you're roughly halfway down, right? Roughly. Walk the feet back a little bit and just shake out the hips again. Soften the elbows. You can come deeper if that makes sense for you. Breathe. That's it. And then come halfway up. I walked back a little, so my left foot's going to come closer to the blocks. My right foot's going to step back, kind of a 3/4 step. Toes are pointing forward. The left hip draws back, right? Pyramid pose, that's all this is. So pyramid pose, especially if your back is feeling a little unstable, and it poses where the hips are relatively straight across are often better choices than when the legs are, one's doing one thing, one's doing the other, if that makes sense for you. So the left hip draws back, the right foot presses back, the torso leans forward, the shoulders get soft, the elbows get soft, and either you stay halfway up or you lower the blocks one and come down a little bit lower. But again, a little bit of hamstring stretch, right? A little bit of, hey, what's going on? Where is it? As I shift my left hip out and back in, I feel all kinds of different muscles stretching. So maybe you wiggle it out to the side and back in again. How does it feel in your body? Can you lengthen the torso? Big deep breath. If your blocks are down at the second level, flip them on end to go high again. Bend your front knee. Step forward. Feet are back together. Hands to knees and come on up. And roll it out again. Shake it all out. Good. Easy stuff today. I know. I know. I don't know if I'm going easy on you or on me. Probably on me. All right, same thing other side, right? We had right foot back before. We're going to do the other side. Take the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Pause here. How does that feel in your body? When you're ready, soften the left knee, step it back. Hips are roughly, or feet are roughly hips width apart. Your hands are on your blocks so that you can play. The left hip rolls forward slightly for most of us. The right hip draws back. But then I push into the back leg so that it can take some of the weight of the pose. And I pause here. What's going on this side? Can the hips stay level, stay even? I even tone the low belly a little bit. Big deep breath, everybody. Notice in this pose, right, when we're way up high on blocks, for most of us, we can kind of play and explore. Are you tightening something that doesn't need to be tightened? Particularly shoulders, neck, jaw. Lower the blocks one if that makes sense for you. If you would rather stay higher, stay higher. See if you can maintain a neutral spine even with this pose getting lower. Breathe. Exhale long. Take those blocks on end. Bend your front knee. Step forward. Bend both knees, hands to knees, and come on up. And then grab one of your blocks. Take it between your thighs. Walk the feet in and give it a good squeeze. Roll the shoulders, soften it all up. I find it interesting again for me, like how far in can I walk the feet and still keep the big toe mounds down? Yeah, breathe. Lots of sensation going on there, right? If your inner thighs are tight or tender or the knees, yeah, baby. And then release it. Listen up. You're going to take the block in its second level. You're going to step on it or in it like you're sitting on a horse or a bicycle. And you're going to do the same thing. Draw the thighs in, draw the knees in, maybe the feet walk in just a little bit. For some, this is going to be a lot. Okay? Just breathe. Working through some of that tissue. Big deep breath. One more. Good. Step one leg out. Take that block out and shake it out. So when you take the block out, it's like, whoosh, that feels better, right? It's like, oh yeah, now things are shifting a little bit. All right, come on back to the front of your mat. The blocks are nearby, but they are not on mat for a moment. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come on down, forward fold, bend the knees as much as you need to. Step back with your right leg. Step back with your left leg, downward facing dog. Pedal it out, everybody. Pedal, pedal, pedal. Engage the upper arms. Engage the thighs. Inhale to tippy toes. Squeeze your low belly. Drop the knees until they are almost touching the floor. Breathe. Try not to look back at your knees. Try to keep the head pretty neutral. You're just looking down around where your thumbs are. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, core work. 1, step the legs back to plank. And breathe again. I know. I just heard a oh over there. Squeeze, breathe, breathe, breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Listen up. Just drop the knees. Half plank. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees up. 5, 4, 3, 2. I know. 1. Down dog. When you get to down dog, widen the feet a little bit. That's going to take some of that weight off, some of that pressure off. Nice little core work, eh? All right, we're going to do that one more time. Bring the feet back to neutral, right? Hips width apart. Inhale, tippy toes, bend the knees. Try not to let the belly sink. Keep it strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step back to plank. Breathe. Squeeze the legs, squeeze the glutes. Lower the knees, hold the upper body. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the knees. Come on, we got this. Woo! Down dog. Holy moly. Take the feet wide. Shake it all out. And then lower the knees all the way to the floor. Knees wide, feet towards each other. Child's pose or any variation that makes sense. So when the knees are wide, right, feet are closer together, it allows the hips, the belly, the low back to kind of all sink down through the middle. If it doesn't feel good, bring the knees together. But for most people I know, this feels really nice. And just breathe. All right. Come on up. That just felt so good. I thought I could stay here a while. That felt really nice. We're going to put this all together. This very simple basic class. Let's put it all together. Let's do everything we just did, more or less. Come to table pose. I know. Press the right leg back. Engage the belly, lift the leg. Hold right here. Feel the leg work, feel the glute work. Tone the low belly in so that the lower back lengthens. Kickstand out the left foot, adjust the left hand so that you can come up sideways and take the arm up. Remember, toes down, always, always, always an option. If the leg is up, squeeze that side body hip. This time, take the top arm, reach it over your ear. The palm is face down. Breathe. Release that hand to the floor. Undo the kickstand. Balancing table, everybody. Reach it out. Find your pose. Good. Lower the hand. Lower the knee. Flip your toes under. Downward facing dog. Breathe. Pedal it out. Sway the hips side to side. Choices here. Either you're going to step forward, right leg, or you're going to lower the knees and step forward, right leg. Your blocks come into play. Come into that 90-90 pose. Lift up, step the hips back, stretch that left quadricep. Take the left arm up. Nice, Betty. Really good. Breathe. Release hands back to your blocks. You decide. Lower the blocks 1. Lift the left knee. Either stay low, which I'm going to do, or come up high. Breathe. If you stay low, you can still play with using core, taking those hands off the floor, off your blocks. And then from here, walk that back foot in a little bit as you straighten out the front leg. Pyramid pose, everybody. Lengthen, find your pose, press into both legs. Big deep breath. You got this. Bend your front leg. Step back again to that lunge. Lower the knee. Release your right foot back. Pause here. Take the blocks out from under your hands. You're back to table pose. Reach the left leg back. Level out the hips. Lift that leg if you choose. Kickstand. Adjust the right hand. Turn your body to the side. Lift that arm up. Big deep breath. Soften your jaw. Maybe you smile. Take the top arm over the ear if you would like. Breathe. As you release, take that hand to the floor. Release the back leg. I'm not sure we did that on the other side, but let's take the right hand out. Little balancing table. Big deep breath. Release that hand. You're going to go to release the knee, downward facing dog. Stretch it all out. Move the weight off of those wrists, off the palms of the hands. And then left foot forward. Hands come back to your blocks. Bring the hands to your knee. You can do lunge. You can do 90-90. Nice big stretch here. Find your breath. You can take an arm up, remember. Easy peasy there, Miss Betty. Breathe. Hands go back to your blocks. Come up to that high lunge. Either keep the chest low or take your hands to your knee and take the arms up. Either one is good. Breathe. Where are you tight? What can you loosen? If you engage your core, can the hands come off your blocks, right? Breathe. And then a short step up with the back foot. The heel drops in slightly. Pyramid pose on this side. Push through both legs. Find your breath. Breathe. Good. Soft bend of your front knee. Set your blocks aside. Step back to downward facing dog, everybody. Breathe. Spread the fingers. Feel the tips of the fingers pressed into the mat. Tone the belly. Plank pose. Breathe. Every day in every way, we're getting better and better, stronger and stronger, happier and happier. Breathe. You got this. Lower the knees, hold the upper body, squeeze the beach ball, soften the shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go to plank. Go to down dog. Almost done, almost done, almost done. Tippy toes, lower the knees, let them almost come to the floor. Breathe. 1, you're here. 2, 1 foot lifts off the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you've lifted one, release, lift the other. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both feet to the floor, both knees to the floor. Take those knees wide and come to child's pose. I know. And breathe, everybody. And feel the stress just melt off your body. Just feel it like, we go through our day, we tense up, We hold all that in. We do some yoga. We let it drip off. It's all good. Just breathe. So wherever you are, because I know several of you took different poses, I want you to come on up and find your blanket. And have your blanket about this wide, and then roll it up or fold it into threes, okay? So that it creates this nice little burrito. And then place that on your mat about halfway down. You're going to come onto your belly with this blanket across your hips. And you're going to lay all the way down to start. And find where it's comfortable. It's like right across the hip line. So if you're laying on your thighs, move it up a little bit. If you're way up by the belly button, move it down a little bit. And let the upper body be really soft. And just try to relax here. I'm going to keep my head up a little so I don't muffle too much. And feel your hip bones on the blanket. You can even rock a little bit side to side. And then I want you to tuck. So I want you to lengthen your lower back and press your pubic bone down below the blanket so that your lower back just got really long, really, really long. And then just release it. Don't go into an arch, but just release. It'll go back into a natural arch. Good. Inhale here. Exhale, lengthen all the way down. It's as if you could touch your thighs toward the floor. You're really lengthening out. And then just release. Good. One more here. Just press, 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 press. And release. From here, come up to Sphinx pose. If you find the blanket is not feeling good, I want you to take the blanket out. If you find that you are too high, walk the elbows forward just a little bit. And then breathe. From here, again, being very mindful, I want you to drop between the shoulder blades and drop your head. It's as if gravity finally won and you are just sinking. I'm melting down to the floor. Let the hips get heavy, let the belly get heavy, everything's heavy. And then starting from the low belly, tone in as if you were peeling yourself off the floor. Feel the belly move, feel the chest lift, and let the head be the last thing to lift up. On the exhale, sink back down. Let the head be heavy. Try to soften the hips. Try to soften the belly. Here we go. Peel off from the thighs, the low belly, the ribs, the chest, and then the head. And breathe. And then come all the way down. Then I want you to do one more thing on this funky blanket, and I want you to walk yourself up so that you're in your thighs instead of in your hips. It's going to feel weird. And then I want you to bend your knees. And I want you to windshield wiper a little bit. If this bothers your back at all, then take the blanket out. I'm using the blanket on purpose, kind of like a very, very soft foam roller, to work through some of the tissue in the legs. So lean into one leg, lean into the other leg, just kind of feel it. You can bend the knees more. You can take one heel to the glute and then switch. We're just working through some muscle tissue here. That's it. And then scoot halfway back so you're not back to the pelvis. You're right up at the top of the thighs. Bend the knees again, squeeze them in. Maybe windshield wiper a little. Maybe straighten one and then the other up and down. Bend both if you can. Press those thighs into the floor. And release. Good. I want you to come up to your elbows. Squeeze in through your belly. Press back enough to come up. Scoot the blanket forward on your mat, and then you're going to come onto your back. So we're not using the blanket at the moment, but we're gonna. So set that blanket down on your mat, onto your back. Bring your knees to your chest and rock side to side. And then roll to one hip and see if you can kind of roll circles around that glute. It's kind of, you'll just feel it. You'll feel rolling on one side. And then take it center and roll on the other side. And center both hands to both knees, knee circles. So we're working all through those hips, glutes right now. Circle the other way. Bring the knees back to center. Hold your hands behind your left knee. Straighten that leg up to the ceiling. Reach the right leg straight. Hold that a few inches above that blanket. Breathe. Press the thigh or the back of the thigh into your hands and try to push that thigh away. Breathe. Inhale the right leg up to the ceiling. Switch your hands. Lower the left leg a few inches off the floor. Push your thigh into your hands. Find your breath. Inhale, bring the left leg up. Switch hands. Bring your right knee to your chest. And then push your right leg straight as your left knee comes to your chest, right? It's kind of weird. Straighten your left leg up as the right knee comes in. Reverse, left knee in, right leg straight. We got one more right here. Push the leg into the hands. Release, left knee to chest. Take the left leg up. Switch sides. Right leg goes up. Hands go behind your right knee. Lower your left leg to your, lower it down. Bring that in. And then release. So the right knee comes to chest, the left leg goes long. Bring the left knee in, the right leg is straight up. Resist and change, left leg straight, right knee in. Got one more of these little funky things. Right leg is straight, left knees to chest. And switch. Both knees to chest. Both hands behind legs, both legs straight up. Just feel the weight of your hips below your legs. So let the legs be heavy. Don't arch, don't flatten. Try to have a neutral spine. Breathe. Release the hands. Take one hand under each side of the sacrum. Palms are face down, legs are still up. If your hamstrings are super tight, bend the knees, everybody. And then cross your legs. So one knee's on top of the other. Bend the knees, bring them into chest. You can release your hands, wrap those hands around your legs again. You can stay here or you can separate the heels from each other and come into cow face legs. In cow face, you can hold on to heels, shins, feet. You're separating. I always think about a wishbone here, which is kind of awful, but just separating the heels or the feet away from each other. Breathe. Release if you're holding on to the feet. Straighten the legs back up, uncross, recross the other way. Bend the knees. Know that you can stay right here. Or separate the feet away from each other. You can hold the heels, the toes, the feet, the ankles. Soften your jaw. Take a deep breath in. Leave it all on the mat. Release your legs. Take them back up. Undo both knees to your chest. Straighten one leg super long. It should land over your blanket. Same thing, other side. Straighten the legs. Now, if the blanket is landed in a funky spot, you can change it. For some, you're going to like it right behind the knees. For some, you're going to like it right underneath the upper thighs, right where the thighs and the glutes meet. I like that one myself. And once you find it, let one hand be low, one hand be high. So one hand at the lower belly, that second chakra. This is our seat of creation, of birth, of security. And take a nice deep breath into that hand. The other hand near the heart center, the heart chakra. Take a deep breath into that hand. And as you exhale, let go of fear, let go of protection beyond all things. Just soften it. And then one breath into both hands. And as you exhale, soften it all. And for Shavasana, you either leave the hands here or let them come back down to your sides, whatever feels good to you. Feel the sides of the jaw soften toward the floor, the shoulder soften toward the floor. Feel the heaviness of the hips. As the mind starts to wander, just bring it back to this breath. Soften down even more. For those of you who are ready, start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Feel the breath deepen and feel yourself let go of any remaining tension as you draw your knees up toward your chest. Rock side to side and allow the knees to roll to one side or the other. Curl all the way over to fetal pose, to seedling pose. Curl here. And then press all the way up. Bring your hands to your heart and bow to your own inner wisdom. Feel love and compassion and joy from the inside to the outside. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, everybody.